The corridors of the Orbital Defense Academy gleamed with cold, metallic efficiency. Every surface reflected the harsh fluorescent lights that never dimmed, never wavered, much like the expectations placed upon the cadets who walked these halls. It was here, in the eastern wing near the combat simulation rooms, that William found himself pressed against the wall with 3 pairs of hands holding him in place. "Earthborn trash," sneered Garrett, the ringleader of the group. His platinum hair caught the light as he leaned closer, his breath hot against William's face. "You think you belong here? This academy is for the elite, not dirt crawlers who've never seen real space." William's jaw clenched, but he said nothing. He'd learned in his first week that responding only made things worse. The other cadets, Marcus and Chen, tightened their grip on his arms as Garrett pulled back his fist, preparing to drive it into William's stomach for the 3rd time that evening. The academy had always been divided. Those born in the orbital stations, raised in artificial gravity and recycled air, looked down upon anyone from Earth. They called them dirt crawlers, gravity slaves, and worse. William had worked twice as hard as anyone to earn his place here, acing every entrance exam. But none of that mattered to cadets like Garrett. Garrett's fist was mid-flight when a hand caught it. The corridor seemed to freeze. Garrett's eyes widened as he looked at the slim fingers wrapped around his wrist, stopping his punch with surprising strength. His gaze traveled up the arm to find Kylie standing there, her dark eyes blazing with controlled fury. "That's enough," she said, her voice quiet but carrying an unmistakable edge of authority. Kylie Chen Rodriguez was something of a legend at the academy, though she'd only been there for 6 months. Daughter of 2 decorated admirals, one from the Mars colonies, one from Earth's Pacific Defense Fleet. She'd been born on a transport ship between worlds and claimed allegiance to none of them. More importantly, she was ranked first in combat simulations and had the respect of both the instructors and most of the student body. "Stay out of this, Kylie," Garrett said, trying to pull his hand free. She didn't let go. "This doesn't concern you." "It does now," Kylie replied, releasing his wrist and stepping between Garrett and William. Marcus and Chen had already let go of William, stepping back uncertainly. "You want to prove you're better than Earthborn cadets? Do it in the simulation room. Do it on the test scores. Do it where it actually matters." Garrett's face flushed red. "He doesn't belong here. Neither did my mother when she first joined the fleet," Kylie interrupted, her voice sharp as a blade. "She was Earthborn, grew up in the slums of New Manila. My father's family said she was beneath him, that she'd never make it past ensign. She ended up saving his life during the Titan Rebellion and commanded 3 fleet actions. Before she turned 35, the hallway had grown quiet. A few other cadets had stopped to watch, forming a loose circle around the confrontation. This academy doesn't belong to Stationborn or Earthborn, Kylie continued, her gaze sweeping across all 3 of the boys who'd been attacking William. It belongs to anyone skilled enough and brave enough to earn their place here. And from what I've seen, William's simulation scores are higher than any of yours. That struck a nerve. Garrett's hands balled into fists at his sides. Those scores don't mean anything. Real space is different. When the pressure hits, Earthborn always crack. Then you should have no problem facing him in a fair fight, Kylie said smoothly. Tomorrow, Simulation Room 3, full combat scenario. You and William, one-on-one. Let the scores speak for themselves. William's eyes widened. He opened his mouth to protest. He'd never agreed to this, but Kylie shot him a look that clearly said, "Trust me." Garrett hesitated. The challenge had been issued publicly now, in front of at least a dozen witnesses. Backing down would be humiliating, but accepting meant risking a very public loss. Fine. He finally spat. Tomorrow at 1600 hours. And when I beat him, you Earthborn sympathizers can shut up about equality. And when you lose, Kylie said calmly, you leave him alone, permanently. That goes for your friends too. Garrett glared at her for a long moment, then turned and stalked away, Marcus and Chen following in his wake. The gathered crowd slowly dispersed, murmuring among themselves about the upcoming match. William slumped against the wall, exhaling shakily. You didn't have to do that. Kylie turned to face him, her expression softening slightly. Yes, I did. I'm tired of watching bullies run this place. She studied him for a moment. Can you beat him? William thought about it. In simulations, he'd scored consistently higher than Garrett, actually. But simulations were one thing. A fight with real stakes was another. I don't know, maybe, not good enough, Kylie said. She grabbed his arm and started pulling him down the corridor. Come on. We've got 23 hours to turn maybe into definitely. William asked, stumbling after her. You think I'd throw you into the arena without backup? Kylie smiled, and for the first time since the confrontation began, William felt hope kindle in his chest. I'm the best combat pilot in this academy. By tomorrow, you will be second best, and that'll be more than enough to handle Garrett. They spent the night in the simulation rooms, Kylie drilling William on tactics, reflexes, and the psychological aspects of combat. She was a demanding teacher, accepting nothing less than perfection. But William found himself rising to meet her expectations. As dawn light began filtering through the station's viewing ports, William executed a perfect flanking maneuver that would have earned him top marks in any test. Kylie nodded approval. Now you're ready, she said. William looked at her, this girl who'd stepped in mid-punch to defend someone she barely knew, who'd spent her entire night training him. Why are you helping me? Kylie was quiet for a moment. Because someone once did the same for me. Because the divisions between Earthborn and Stationborn are artificial and stupid. Because if we're ever going to survive as a species in this hostile universe, we need to stop fighting each other and remember we're all human. She met his eyes. And because everyone deserves someone in their corner. 16 hours later, William would face Garrett in Simulation Room 3. He would win not easily, but decisively. Garrett would honor the agreement, and the harassment would stop. But that victory, important as it was, wouldn't be the most significant thing William gained that day. He'd found something more valuable, an ally, a friend, and a reminder that courage sometimes means stepping between a fist and a wall, mid-punch, to defend what's right.